Hey everybody, Dan the Wolfman here. Also, Pure Reviews. Please be subscribed to both of my channels. Dan the Wolfman covering everything martial arts, self-defense, and 2A, and Pure Reviews for just the 2A content. Today we're going to be talking your top 5 best choices for CCW carry or home defense ammo. Pistols primarily 9, 40, 45, but 10 millimeter. If we get a chance to get a 357 38, I already have a very popular extensive video on 380 ammo choices, and you need to know what length of barrel your pistol or revolver has. Your semi-auto pistol, I have 3 here. 2 are a 9mm long barrel, a 9mm short barrel micro compact, a 45 in-between length barrel, a snubby 2-inch barrel 38, and a 3-inch barrel 357 Magnum. You must understand what a hollow point is this nice deep hollow point cavity like on this HST, Federal HST here, so that as it goes into an attacker's body or attacking dog or whatever the situation is, though I love dogs, it would expand. And the reason why law enforcement, security personnel, etc. carry and why you want is not only does it do more immediate incapacitating type damage to stop the deadly action of the person attacking you, but there's far less collateral damage due to overpenetration both of the body or if you shot it into a wall, etc. Now, to stop a bad guy, you got to have, number one, most important, deep penetration to get to the organs. The body, even the skin, is very, very tough. The organs, the tissues are very, very tough. It's not necessarily everyone wears a Jay Leno 4-layer denim suit, but it's because of the skin and the tissue being so stretchy. Most people on YouTube don't understand that. So anyway, a hollow point is so to risk over penetration, but you need it to penetrate deep enough to stop the bad guy, to get to their organs or their central nervous system if you're incredibly lucky. Pistols are not rifles or shotguns. We're going to talk about the top 5 main choices, but I need you to understand that it is dependent on barrel length. So basically, especially if you have a 4, 5, 6-inch barreled revolver, pistol, medium and even cheaper ammo is going to do a pretty good job. Cheaper hollow points, depending on your barrel length. If you have 5 inches, the cheaper ones will do pretty good. Not as good as the HST or the Golden Saber or the Critical Duty or the Gold Dot. Gold Dot here, nice deep Conallure hollow point. Critical Duty with the FTX like a ballistic tip. Paul Harrell in the tip to help with expansion through heavy clothing and barriers, but good barrier penetration. The Golden Saber or the HST. Now in ammo gating times, you want to get the best that you can for your pistols or, auto pistols, semi-automatic pistols, revolvers, etc. But most important, guys, maybe you can only buy a 20 round box or 25 round box. You're going to want to make sure those first 11 rounds, 10 plus 1 rounds coming out of your gun, the first ones you would shoot at a potential home invader or attacker, are your bestest hollow points that have good penetration but not over penetration, that are more likely to quickly stop a bad guy's deadly threat to you and others. Meaning that if you need a function test 9 through your pistol, that's not as good as 30 or 300 like some YouTubers recommend. When things were cheaper, maybe you could, but in ammo gating and expensive times, maybe I can't, but maybe you can shoot 5 to 9 through your pistol, or at least 3, 4, the one you're going to use, plus 3, 4 cheaper hollow points, as I've been starting to do to make sure I get a whole mag, basically, of hollow points through it, and some of them being mine, different profiles, different overall lengths, and I'm just making sure that feed ramp's nice and good, and function checking the pistol. You see here, guys, there's 4 reviews on this Colt Detective Special, on the Special Talo Edition 7-shot 357 Magnum Ruger GP100. I have popular videos on the Talo Ruger GP100, look those up, and is it a good choice and all of that. 3-inch barrel length, why that's good ballistics. This is a just under 4-inch but polygonal barrel HK45C used by the Navy SEALs in the Bin Laden raid because it has a polygonal barrel, normal. Polygonal barrels get about 35 feet per second more than traditional Lands and Grooves barrels. Higher velocity usually means better hollow point bullet expansion, or cheaper hollow points and longer barrels might meet expansion threshold. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you the top 5, but go over some of the options. Now this, under 3.5 inches. So 4 above, you don't have to be as particular, but 3.5 inch and under in 9mm, 45, really more like 4, 4.25 and 45, 3.5 and 9mm, and under 3 inches in revolvers, as a lot are snub 2 inches, whether that's 38 or 357. You have to be much more particular than in 3-inch or longer in a revolver because of freebore, more barrel length in the cylinder. 3.5 inch and 9mm or longer, a lot of hollow points will work, or 4.25, a lot of hollow points will work. Again, this one is about 4 inches, but polygonal, so it's about the same as a 4.25, probably traditional barrel. So this is only 3.2 inches, Ruger Max 9 Pro. I love it. This is my backup or easy carry. This is my main carry and home defense right now. Because of the short barrel, I am using HSTs. You have to be more particular with your ammo choices in the short barrels, like the new micro compacts. Most of them have 3 or 3.1 inch barrels. This is a 3.2, but still anything under 3.5. Most hollow points do not expand fully or uniformly, even if they're expensive brands shorter than 3.5. The only two that I would recommend, and they're hard to find now and expensive, HSTs went from like $30 a box to $50 a box. If you're lucky enough to find them, get 124 plus P HST. Get some if you can. That is your number one choice. We're going to talk law enforcement, security, and personal defense, common civilians. Number one choice for civilians is going to be HST or even off-duty cops. I like 124 plus P HSTs. I like 124 plus P grains, and anything better than 115. There's only a couple 115 grains I would recommend, and that's more only if you're recoil sensitive. Here is a 124 plus P Golden Saber. Now you're going to say that maybe Remington went out of business. No, they didn't. Vista bought out the ammo part. Vista owns Federal. Vista owns Speer. Federal HSTs, Speer Gold Dots, and they own Golden Saber. Eventually, when this slows down, they're not just making tons and tons of 9mm ball ammo. They have 2 facilities. One is just 9mm right now over at Remington, the new one. Eventually, hopefully they will bring this back because this is a cheaper, very good round. In multiple calibers, Golden Sabers, even if they separate from the jacket, have jacket separation, it doesn't matter in real world. They penetrate deep enough, they expand deep enough, the little core goes deep enough, and it does everything you do and has been very effective in calibers like 9mm and 45 and 40 for a very, very long time before higher tech like HSTs or this 357 Magnum Gold Dot. And guys, when I say Gold Dot, if you can get the Speer, but maybe in Ammo Gate in times you can only get it through something like Underwood. Put your email in and get some, what they call bonded is the Gold Dot. If they don't say bonded, it's usually an Oster Hollowpoint or something else. If they say bonded, that's them telling you it's a Gold Dot awesome bullet at extremely high velocity that Underwood does. This is either a critical defense or duty that my roommate left behind, my old roommate. This is a good choice, but I would make it number 5 personally in 9mm. In 45, it's a better choice. In 10mm, it's a better choice. Not my top choice in 9mm because of minimal .52 style expansion, not .68 expansion like the HSTs. But I digress. Okay, so law enforcement has more needs to go through intermediate barriers like steel car bodies and even harder windshields. That is when you particularly want a Gold Dot for deep penetration through barriers, or a critical duty, not defense, duty made for basically 4-inch barrels or longer, 3.5-inch barrels or longer, critical duty, not defense. I am not a fan of critical defense other than in 38 special or smaller calibers perhaps. But critical defense doesn't penetrate very deeply. Critical duty penetrates more deeply. Penetration is king, the most important, and then you worry about expansion, and those give you your tissue crush. I have a lot of videos on 380 ammo selection, 9mm versus 45, really breaking it down if you really want to know about ballistics. So your top 5 right now, Vista owns 4 of them, makes 4 of them when they bring back the Golden Saber. HST is number 1 for civilian, whereas Gold Dot's probably number 1 for law enforcement, followed by critical duty for law enforcement security. But a lot of them also, I can tell you I work security, also issue HST. For civilians, it's going to be federal HST number 1, but you don't need as much barrier penetration, so now they came out with federal deep. Good deep penetration, good expansion. Federal Deep's very good. And now most recently they came out with Federal Punch. Federal Punch looks very good in multiple calibers, and it should be a cheaper line. You'll probably be able to find Punch maybe deep at some of the bigger box stores, where now you're probably not going to find the HSTs. Let's just do some comparison. These are basically the same 355, 356 diameter bullets. But look at case length. 357 is a lot longer than 9mm, meaning with a longer barrel length, it can really get up to higher velocity. FY. Let's look at these 45s. This one is a HST, 230 grain. This is 185 plus P, Golden Saber. And yeah, it could potentially jacket separation after going through some organs and bones, but still the jacket and especially the inner core are going to go very, very far at high velocity and do really good. This is a 220 plus P critical duty, a little less expansion, meaning less tissue crush than these two, unless you happen to be shooting at a bad guy, in a car. It's been an extended firefight that law enforcement has to deal with more than a civilian. This is Underwood ammo. I wish it was the Gold Dot, but it's not. It's the Nosler because of Ammo Gate, and they didn't have any of their bonded bullets, meaning most, I believe this is a Nosler bullet. However, even old tech like this Nosler in 45 or this Federal Defense semi-jacketed 125 grain Hollowpoint, old tech still works if it's in a long enough barrel length, or a 4-inch polygonal barrel, or a 3-inch, not a 2-inch 357. Old tech still works when you push it to really high velocity. Again, barrel length matters. Know if you have like a Glock 19 4-inch or Glock 17 4.5-inch barrel, a 4-inch like this, or do you have a micro compact 3-inch 3.2 or something under 3.5. 3.5 and above, a lot of hollow points like Golden Saber we know work. We know that critical duty would still work fairly well. We know an XTP probably doesn't work so good out of a 3.5 or 3.2-inch barrel, but it would work decently out of 5-inch. XTP is not a top choice, but if you have a 5-inch barrel pistol, an XTP is good and better for hunting because more deeper penetration, less expansion. If you needed a backup mag, stuff like critical duty or XTPs, basically sort of the same thing, do really, really good in backup magazines or in extended firefights. If you happen to be in a rare extended past 12 round engagement as a civilian and you needed some duty. So if this was in a backup magazine or even the bottom of a double stack magazine, but you had something like an HST, a Golden Saber, or a Gold Dot up front, or the first 3 rounds in your cylinder of a revolver like this Taylor Ruger GP100. Again, guys, check out all my awesomeness. Or this HK45C, aka Mark MK24 that the Navy SEALs used, or John Wick's P30 Longboy. A review will come up on this. So anyway, guys, please subscribe. Hopefully HST, Deep, Punch, Golden Saber, and Gold Dot are your top 5.